At the same time, that helps you clearly.
Yeah, totally. I've got to dance.
I think I might have a terrible cough just about to happen.
Yeah,
before
right.
tonight.
You and I both will.
Come on, we can do this.
Anyway, let me tell you about what's going on with energy prices, because obviously that's the big news in the business world at the moment. Morning, everybody. Yeah, energy prices are going up. This is all to do with supply. So let's start with petrol and diesel first. Now, the issue is that a crucial pipeline in Scotland is closing for 3 weeks for repairs. That's longer than was originally expected, and it's pushed up the price of oil. You can see from this graph behind me what's been happening with the petrol prices, and you can see there how it's dropped at the start of the year and then has started to go up, and it's expected to go up another 2p at Christmas. If we take gas, you see the graphic behind me there, this was the scene yesterday when a processing facility in Austria suffered a catastrophic explosion. Now, tragically, one person was killed in that explosion and dozens injured too. Now, that facility where this happened is actually one of the main entry points for Russian gas into Europe, and so supply of gas has now been affected by this. So what does all of this mean? Well, with me is Steve Irwin, who's from Portland Fuel Consultancy. Good morning to you, Steve. Let's go back to the beginning there. The first graph we saw there was, of course, what's happening with petrol prices, and as I said, bit of a drop at the beginning of the year, but now it's heading upwards. Why is that?
Yeah, OPEC at the end of November, they decided to continue with their output production cuts through to the end of 2018 next year. So that started pushing up prices because they were limiting the supply on the market. OPEC control about 30 to 40% of the world's oil production.
And just to explain OPEC, they're this oil-producing exporters, aren't they? So they're this group who basically produce the majority of the oil. Yeah,
absolutely. So they're limiting the amount that they're putting to market because the market was oversupplied, to be fair. But with them limiting the supply, that started to push up prices. And then this issue with the pipeline means that supply has been limited from the North Sea, which is where we get all of the Brent crude prices, which are the market grade that determine prices around the world.
Yeah, so when we see the Brent crude price go up, that means inevitably at some point it'll feed through into what we're paying at the pumps.
Absolutely, yes. So we've already seen a rise of about 2 pence a litre because of the OPEC move at the end of November, and that will filter through over the next couple of weeks. And then this pipeline issue is probably going to add around about another penny.
And just on that point about OPEC and why they limit supply, this is because they want the price to go up.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, they're producing the oil, so the higher the price that they can get, the more money that they make. The market was oversupplied because the US had started producing a lot of oil through their shale fracking wells that they'd dug, which had brought all that supply onto the market. OPEC were taking some of that production off to balance that, which has led to the prices rising over this year quite substantially. They're up over 20% this year.
So that's what's going on with oil. Now let's look at gas and what's happening there. We saw a big rise in the cost of wholesale gas. So how much our energy companies are paying for it?
Yeah, so this won't affect electricity prices because gas is used obviously to produce electricity. So it won't affect electricity prices immediately in the retail market because a lot of people fix for a year or whatever. And hopefully this will be a short-term event. The OMV Baumgarten gas connector facility, as you mentioned, had an explosion. That provides a lot of gas to Italy, so it's affecting the Italian market far more than it is the UK, but it will have a temporary effect, certainly, until they can sort out and get that gas connector facility back up and running and get the supply of Russian gas back through those pipelines.
And it does always feel, though, at this time of year that everything goes up.
Yeah, it certainly does. I mean, it's bad news right before Christmas. We're going to see the oil price rises feed into the pumps just around Christmas time when obviously everybody else has all the other expenses of Christmas coming along.
Yeah, Steve, thanks very much. Can you sing, by the way?
No.
Good, I won't make you, don't worry. I could see the panic in your eyes then going, please don't make me sing Little Donkey.
My cough,
Steve.
my cough has definitely got worse.
She's genuinely thinking of